Welcome to Moments with Lisa, and I'm Lisa. Hi! And today I want to show you 7 meals that you can cook for a big family. Meal number 1. One of my favorite meals to cook is breakfast. One of my favorite meals is breakfast. I can cook breakfast all the time. So now I'm in the kitchen. I'm doing some bacon. I'm about to make some grits. And most of the family has already eaten, but my husband and I have not eaten. So right now, I'm only cooking for my husband and I. So I'm making some grits. You have to stir those grits up so they do not stick. I'm also adding some margarine in my grits because, I like the taste of it. I'm adding my season. Everything bagel season is one of my favorite seasons. I like cheese in my grits. And so I'm adding that in my grits. And I'm going to make sure that is stirred well. My bacon is now done. So I'm going to move my bacon to the side while I start preparing my next meal. I'm going to do some scrambled eggs. I'm going to beat them well. And then I'm going to put them on my grill. The grill part is so hot. So when I put the eggs on there, it just automatically start cooking. So I don't have to worry about them dripping off. And I'm seasoning my eggs. I do not season when I'm mixing it up. I just put it on top because I really want to taste my season. I'm adding cheese. I like cheese with eggs. Well, truthfully, I like cheese almost with everything. I'm doing bagels. My grill is already hot, so I'm going to toast my bagels on my grill. Look how nice they look. They smell good. Look at that. That's a perfect color. My breakfast is now done. I love breakfast food. This plate here is for my husband. Time to eat. Meal number 2. So I forgot to pick up the video camera. So while I was doing the first part, but I just seasoned the meat. I lightly fried them on both sides. Now I made some gravy because in order for me to make my steak really tender, I have to cook it in some gravy. So when I cook it like this, it makes it nice and tender. It just pretty much, you can easily cut it with a fork. And I'm doing some black-eyed peas. I like frozen black-eyed peas. They only take a minute to cook. Also, they're really nutritious. This is one, they have good protein. Beans is very good in protein. And I did some rice already on the side. This is a good meal for a big family. It makes everybody, makes their belly full. So you don't have to worry about saying, oh, Mom, I'm still hungry after I just fed them. This is a nice hot meal, and it really doesn't take long to prepare. And so you see, I already set everybody's plate. So for my big family, it's time for them to eat. It's a nutritious, hot meal for the family. Now I'm going to do meal number 3 is going to be subs. I got the meat from Aldi's. I washed my tomatoes, my lettuce off. I sliced them up, and I took my cheese out. I like things to be organized, so it's easy for me to put my subs together. Like I said, the meat is from the package. It comes with ham and turkey. I got that from Aldi's, and I'm using Miracle Whip and sweet and spicy mustard. The bread, I bought this from Kroger's. there are the hoagie breads. So I open them up. So I'm going to begin to prepare my subs for my family. I evenly distribute the meat. Now put the meat on first. You know, when you go to Subway to eat, they always put their meat on first. So, you know, that's exactly what I do. I put my meat on. Now I'm going to add some cheese on there because I like cheese and the family likes cheese. And it looks like a good sandwich when you do this. So I like to get the Roman lettuce. I like them anyway because they're really nutritious. But it's easy to put on the subs. And so next I'm going to add my tomatoes on the subs. And I try to make sure each sub looks alike. And I give the same quality throughout. And this is a very nutritious meal because you getting meat, you getting bread, you getting vegetables. You know, at Subway, they always add their condiments, their dressings at the end, and they put it on top. So that's what I decide to do. So I put my Miracle Whip, I put my sweet and spicy mustard on top. So it will be in between. It won't be on the bread. And this is a quick and easy meal. I didn't have to cook anything. I didn't have to cook nothing at all. I just had to chop up the food and put it on my bread. And because it's a well-nutritious meal, I decided to make sure I add fruit. I did a plum and some orange slices. So this would be a good meal for the family. This is good for a big family. Quick and easy. Meal number 4. I bought the chicken legs, I believe at Sam's Club, and they come like 13 or 14 in a pack. I'm not quite sure, but you get a lot. So this is good for a big family. And I bought the pack was probably, all these chicken legs is probably like cost me like $5. Okay, now I'm boiling my noodles because I'm going to do Alfredo sauce with my meal tonight. And it's really pretty much inexpensive. This meal here is really an inexpensive meal for a big family. So I baked my chicken legs for probably 45 minutes to an hour. I sprayed them, they're nice and crispy. It smells good. My noodles are now done. I'm going to drain my noodles. And then I'm going to begin to prepare my Alfredo noodle sauce. I added, I think it was Mountain Jack cheese. I added cream cheese. I added mushrooms. Add some seasoning on top of it. This is a really easy meal to cook. It's not hard at all. And you make so much for a big family. Everybody will get full. And everybody will enjoy this meal. Now, I did bake my chicken legs, but I want some barbecue sauce on my chicken legs. So when I don't want just plain chicken. No, I'm gonna kick it up some. So I take my barbecue sauce and I cook it on the stove. It makes the barbecue sauce sticks well to the chicken when you do that. So now the barbecue sauce is sticking to my chicken. Look how delicious that look. That chicken looks good. And it was delicious. And so I have Astor barbecue sauce. So I'm going to take my Astor barbecue sauce and I'm going to pour it on my chicken. My meal is now completed. So I did some broccoli and I did some garlic bread. You know I have to give a nutritious meal. When you have a family, you know you want to give the best to your family. So I want to make sure my family has a good meal. My husband works hard, and my kids are my kids. So I try to make sure they have good meals. This meal here, I'm going to do some hamburgers. You know what? A family without hamburgers for a family? Anyway, so I'm cooking this hamburger. These hamburger patties I bought from this grill here. I got this grill from Aldi's, but they sell at Walmart too. And not only did I do bacon on there, not only did I cook my eggs on there, look, I'm even cooking hamburger on there. So you could do so many things with that grill. So I am cooking my hamburger because, you know, I got to give my family something different. And it's a quick meal. It's easy. And I could put all our hamburgers down at one time. I am cooking all the hamburgers at one time. That's why I like this. So I'm seasoning it up. I bought that season from Dollar Tree. And I want to kick up my hamburgers. You don't have to do this, but I wanted something different. And I'm loving that barbecue sauce. So I'm adding barbecue sauce to our hamburgers tonight. I'm giving them something a little different. Now, when you're using barbecue sauce on that grill, you got to be careful because it has sugar in there. And you do not want to burn that barbecue sauce. Because I'm not trying to eat no burnt hamburgers. So, of course, I want to kick it up some more. You got to have some cheese on your hamburgers. But I'm going to use a different type of cheese. I'm going to use the mozzarella cheese. So it could be nice and gooey. It's going to be sweet and gooey and salty. It's going to be sweet, salty, and gooey. Now, you know what? Now I'm just talking too much. But, you know, yeah. So, anyway, I'm keeping on the grill until my cheese starts to melt some. But I'm going to move the hamburgers because I don't want the barbecue sauce to burn. So I'm going to move them and my cheese is melting really well. So now it's done. I had moved everything off. So now I have to give my family something else. You got to have what goes good with hamburgers? French fries. So I put up my fryer and I'm about to fry these spiral French fries. I bought those fries from Kroger's. So I like to use my fryer because it makes my French fries nice and crispy. We like nice and crispy fries. I do not want any soggy French fries. So I'm getting that together, those French fries together, and I put it on this pan I have. It drains because if you, like I said, if you put your fries on a paper towel, it's gonna make it kind of soggy. So this way it gets to drain before we eat it. And so I did some hamburger buns. I put that together, put some lettuce on there. And now my meal is done. It was quick and easy. It's fulfilling for the family and everybody get to have plenty. Meal number 6. Now, meal number 6, I'm doing pork chops. But I like fried pork chops, but I don't want to fry it. So I'm going to bake it. And so how I'm going to do, I'm going to oven fry my pork chops. I'm going to prepare them by adding my season on there. And I dip my pork chop. After I season them, I dip it in the eggs. I'm dipping it in flour. And I'm going to dip it in the Italian bread mix. And this way, my pork chops is going to have a good breading on there. Because we want it to taste like it was fried. Even though it's going to be baked. And this package I bought, I think 8 pork chops come in this package, which is good for a big family. And I spray it so it could be nice and crispy. You know, who want pork chops that's not crispy? I want my pork chops to be nice and crispy. So I'm going to bake that probably for 45 minutes. So while that, I'm going to put that in the oven. I'm going to do some sweet potatoes and white potatoes. Now, I went in my refrigerator and I'm like, okay, you haven't used those sweet potatoes. Okay, you need to use those white potatoes because not they're going to go bad. So that's why I'm going to end up making mashed potatoes. I'm going to end up doing sweet potatoes. I'm preparing that and getting that together while my pork chops are cooking. And this is my pork chops in the oven. Still cooking. It's getting nice and crispy. So when you spray a little spray on there, put the cornmeal, the flour on there, the egg, it makes it nice and crispy. And this is a good meal for the family. This is a good meal for the family, and it's not that expensive. So I made some gravy. I took those white potatoes, made some mashed potatoes. I made some sweet potatoes on the side. I did some string beans, and I did some brown gravy for my mashed potatoes. And this is a good meal for a big family. I want to say large family, but really we're a big family. We're not a large family. We're a big family. Ha ha. And this is one of the plates I prepared. This is a good, well-balanced meal for the family. And the colors look pretty. Meal number 7. Now, one of my favorite meals, I tell you, is breakfast. And you can have breakfast at any time. So these buns here were Kaiser buns. It was leftovers. So I decided I'm going to make breakfast sandwich. If you didn't take anything out the freezer and you need to cook a meal for your family, you know what? Think. Breakfast food. Breakfast food is a good meal to cook for your family. It's quick, it's easy, and it's delicious. And so a lot of times, if I didn't take anything out or I was running all day, but I still need to cook a meal for the family, I'm going to cook some breakfast food. So breakfast food is a good meal that you can have at breakfast, you can have at lunch, or you can have at dinner. And if you're a person who don't get a chance to have breakfast all the time, have breakfast at nighttime. It's quick and easy. Well, thank you for watching. Thumbs up.